Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. My name is Sloan and I run this Hot Mess Express. So let's talk about the Hot Mess Express. That would have been great if that was a beer or a Truly's, except I don't like beer or Truly's. So we're going to cheers to a Coke Zero. Cheers. All right, so I am gonna get back to posting food, I promise. I have clips filmed. I have meal prep clips filmed, what I eat in a day clips filmed. I just need to edit them and put them together. On that note, Nate built a computer several years ago, and then he put too much glue on one of the main parts, and it started messing up. All of that ramble to say that we are now fixing that computer. That was his birthday present. He wanted to use the rest of his money to fix the computer, so we are working on that. And hopefully, once that gets done, this will be a little bit easier for me. Just because, like I've discussed before, I do all of this for my phone. I do the editing, the filming, and everything, uploading and all of that. And it takes so much time. And it's not that I'm not willing to spend the time on it, but it's also my phone. So like, there are times where I have to download from the editing app, upload to another app, and then upload from there to YouTube. And so like, each of those parts sometimes takes up to an hour or more. So like, between filming and editing and putting one video together from my iPhone, I could spend anywhere from like 30 minutes to 24 hours, literally. And that's not even like the in-between time of filming. Anyways, that's not what we're here for. I'm making excuses. Yeah. All right. So last week, I did something that I wanted to talk about, and I completely forgot to talk to you about it. I went and got a new piercing. So this one right here, my rook, the blue one, I hope you can see that. I hope it's like, there we go. Also note my PCOS hair, don't judge me. But I got my piercing because I accomplished something. I did 55 workouts in the month of February. I was supposed to get this piercing right whenever COVID started hitting. So, but I finally got it. Super excited to have it. But I wanted to talk to y'all about non-food rewards, because I know that it is so ingrained in our minds, in our cultures, in everything to reward ourselves with food. And I used to buy into it. I used to buy into it all the time, from, you know, my grandparents telling me that if I did X, Y, and Z, they would give me this food. Or my parents, if you make A's on your test, we'll go get Mexican. To whenever I was in college myself, treating myself the same way. If you study for this amount of hours, we can go get some Chick-fil-A. If you ace this test, then you can go out and have drinks with friends. If you work out 5 times this week, we can go get that Krispy Kreme donut. If you hit that 2 pounds lost on the scale on Monday, we're gonna go have Mexican. I know you know what I'm talking about, because we all do this, right? We all set our sights on a challenge, and then we set a reward that is food. Do you know who else we reward with food? Our dogs. We use food to train our dogs, and that's essentially what you're doing to yourself. And in my mind and heart, that's not okay. That's not okay for me, and if that's okay for you, like, you do you, boo. That has been my slogan this whole journey. You do you, boo, but I'm gonna tell you about me right now. I cannot treat myself with food and treat myself like a dog, because I'm not a dog. I have way more complex emotions and thoughts and feelings, and like, I am a dog person. If you know me and you know, then you know that like, I think my dogs talk back to me. Like Fitz the bear, he is very sassy. He will growl back to me whenever I'm like getting on to him. My dogs talk back to me. So I know that dogs have personality and emotions and feelings and thought processes and all of that. We're just a little bit more complex than that, right? So we deserve a little bit more of a complex reward, in my opinion. And so that's one part of not rewarding yourself with food. I don't want to treat myself like a dog. I don't want to view myself as a dog. So I will not treat myself with food. Another argument for that is that food comes and goes, right? Like, it's there and then it is gone, okay? You might have that experience with friends, a good meal, or your husband, your wife, whatever the case may be. The memories can be worth it, and if that's the case for you, use that food reward. Go out for that fancy date with your significant other and let that be your food reward. But let it be more about the experience than the food itself, right? The experience, the company, that should be the reward there, not the meal that you're actually eating that is going to leave your body in a day or two. So yeah, that's something that I had to work on towards the beginning, and I would do things. I used to on weigh-in days, those were my cheat days, right? And so I would save everything that I wanted throughout the week and then have that in one day. And that's not healthy. It's not safe. It's not okay mentally, physically, emotionally. So I had to put an end to it. My best friend Lily, she loves rewarding herself with food, and it works for her. So like, you really do have to find what works best for you. I'm just sharing my experience and why I no longer believe in food rewards. I also, like, in the spirit of food comes and goes, right? Like, if you're rewarding yourself with clothes for working out, then you have a new workout outfit for the next however long that you keep workout outfits. I keep clothes for forever. So buying a workout outfit and rewards for doing 5 workouts that week, that used to be something I used to do in the beginning of my journey. If I did 5 workouts, I would buy a new top or a new pant or a new bra, just something that would make me excited to do it all over again the next week. And then that week, I would buy another new sports piece. But yeah, so that was the ramblings of non-food rewards that I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to share my weigh-in because this was a very exciting weigh-in, I guess. So a little bit about my story is that I lost 100 pounds in a year, and then I maintained that loss for about 6 months, and then I gained 30 pounds. Like, in a 2-week period, I gained 30 pounds. And it was because I kept playing this game with the scale where, like, I would overdo it and still pull out a loss. And so it became a game of how much can I overdo it and still pull off a loss. And then I gained 30 pounds in 2 weeks. So the joke was on me. That was about 9 months ago, and ever since then I have been stuck in the same 5-pound weight range for 9 months. I could have grown a baby. 9 months. I was stuck at the same weight, doing the same things, staying consistent, persistent, and learning a whole lot of patience. Like, I am not a patient person. Ask anybody that knows me in real life. I am not patient. But this journey is teaching me patience. It's teaching me that I need to focus on the habits and not my result. And that's something that I preach a lot. And I show y'all, especially on Instagram, I show y'all that I practice what I preach. But it's really hard for you on the other side of the screen to understand how much it took for me to get to that spot, because it's taken a lot of mind work. It's taken a lot of emotional work. There were a lot of things I had to work through in my head and my heart to make the whole picture, my whole body work together. And so this week I lost 5.4 pounds. 5.4 pounds in a week. Let me tell you, that was not just a week's worth of hard work. That is my entire 3 years worth of hard work right here. That is 3 years worth of consistency, persistence, and learning to keep pushing even whenever I don't get the results that I want. Would I like to be back down where I was a year ago? Yes. Did I get there in a way that I'm proud of? Not necessarily, because I feel like I was very restrictive in my first year. This is like how I describe it, okay? So my first year, I was very restrictive. My second year, I was way too lenient. And this is my third year. And in my third year, I have truly focused on finding balance between all of it. Working the mind with the body, working Weight Watchers into my life, and actually being able to live. Because that was kind of where I gained all of my weight, was going out to eat with friends and drinking a lot. And it was a whole lot of, I don't care. I don't care if I gain weight this week. And it was, I don't care, 7 out of 7 days of the week that got me to that gain. Now I care, like 7 out of 7 days, 365. I am here and I show up for myself every single day, whether I want to or not. And that is how I got that 5.4 pound loss. It wasn't 1 week worth of work. It has been years worth of work going into it. And that's like my main point and my main lesson that I want to pass on to you is that yes, it's going to be frustrating. Yes, it's going to be hard. No, it's not easy. It's simple, but it is not easy. And we have to put in that work. And you're going to have times whenever you don't see the work show off. But eventually it's going to come out. Eventually your work is going to show. And you just have to hang in there until that happens. Would I have loved to have given up? Yes. But giving up to me means going back to where I used to be. And I refuse. I refuse to go back to the overweight, the obese me, because she was not happy. She was miserable in every way possible, and I don't want to be her. So everything that I do today and tomorrow and the next day is to keep me from being her. I love her. She served me well. She is the reason that I am here today, but I do not want to go back to her. I do not want to go back to that hurt part of my life. I have been working on healing those wounds, and I want them to stay healed. And that's what I work on now. The results are secondary. They have to be secondary. You can't just focus on the scale. You can't let the scale affect your mood. Yesterday, I was in such a bad mood. And I preach about this all the time, how like you can't let a gain affect your mood. But what about on the flip side of that, right? Yesterday I was in a horrible mood, and then I stepped on the scale and saw that loss. For the rest of the day, I was in a great mood. And while that's great, like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, that shows me that I still depend on the scale to tell me how to feel and how to think. And that's what I am working to get away from. So while I have gotten away from the negative feeling with the scale, now I want to work on getting away from the positive feeling of the scale. And I know that that can sound backwards, but like letting the scale have that positive power over me leaves the door open to let the scale have negative power over me as well. So that's just where I am. That's my way in. That's my non-food reward talk for you. But yeah, I promise I'm gonna work on getting some food videos up soon, ASAP. I promise. Some financial videos coming up. I'm trying to get it all together. I'm trying to balance everything, and I don't know. I've started baking again on the side. That's a little side hustle I used to have. I feel like I'm trying to juggle too many balls at once. But this is a ball that I want to juggle. Like, I don't want you to feel like I'm complaining about this. This is a ball that I want to juggle. This is something that I want to do that makes me feel happy. It just tends to fall on the back burner whenever other things come into play, like working now. I'm back to working again, and now I have baking orders coming in again, which is side hustle to do, and I personally, for me, I want to make it a goal to move this from the back burner to a more front burner permanently, just because talking to y'all and putting this out here, it helps me, and I hope that it helps you. But yeah, why would I not do something that helps me and that makes me happy? I keep putting it off. And I think that it's a fear of failure. Like I'm scared of letting you down, letting myself down. I don't know. This is a fear that I'm going to conquer. We're going to conquer it together, okay? All right, enough rambling. I am going to go do some stuff. I don't know. I got work in a little bit, but I will check in with y'all later. I hope y'all are having a fantastic week. Please remember to track your food, drink your water, and stay positive. And I will be back later.